I know that this might get a little bit cross the line, so it's fine if you don't want to answer this one. But what's the highest paying month that you've actually had in your career so far?
Yeah, man, I'll happily go into it. So, like, this obviously depends if we're looking at revenue or personal income. So,
Okay.
let's say in revenue for my marketing agency, the highest we did was around like $54,000 in a month. For me personally, it's going to be less than that because, of course, we've got expenses, team members, a bunch of other stuff,
Yeah,
and
a lot of
that.
stuff to go for.
And to be honest, when most people in the business space are not going to pay themselves out all the profit they make for tax reasons, they're going to keep some of it in the business account and
Hmm.
do a dividend at the end of the year. But yeah, man, that was our highest revenue month. For the agency, then we actually scaled it down a bit after that point, which most people would hear that and be like, "Why the hell would you do that if you just
Yeah,
made
that's what I'm
54K
thinking
in a
right now.
month?" Yeah, man. So I'll dive into that a little bit because again, not much people would, I think, even mention it. So fuck
Hmm.
it, let's go into it.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, so at that point, that was great, right? Obviously, I got a dopamine rush checking the bank balance, being like, wow, 54,000, that's the most we've made in a month. That's fantastic. But when I started to look into our profit margins, it was lower than it was in previous months. Okay. So we had pretty much overextended where, yes, we made more money on paper, but we've actually pretty much made the same money as we did profit in other months.
Right,
Okay. So
right.
we hired more people, we paid for more softwares, we had more expenses. And that really taught me a valuable lesson. At that point, we decided we would scale it down a little bit, and we would do that for two reasons. So one was to improve the profit margin, so that let's say in 3 months' time we could make 45K in a month, but actually collect more profit. That was the goal. And how we
Right.
would do that would be by reducing stress in the business. Okay. So getting rid of team members that, just weren't performing, getting
Hmm.
rid of softwares that we were only using, a little bit of that software each month, and also the services that we offered. So at that time, our main offer to a business owner was pay me maybe about 1,000 a month. I'll manage your social media page. You do nothing. Very hands off, right?
Right.
At that point, we went from hands off agency that does everything for you to content and consulting, which is we'll create the content for your social, we'll coach you and consult with you on how you can then use it, but we're not going to post it for you.
Okay.
So that meant we didn't need as many team members. Our profit margin was going to be way higher, right? Because we're doing a whole lot less manual work each day. And yeah, that's the reasoning why we scaled down, and it made a lot of sense. We
It does
made pretty
make a
much
lot
the
of
same
sense.
money with less stress because when we did 54K in a month, I was in charge of sales, right? So each day I would have Zoom calls like this, but with a business owner,
Yeah.
and I would have probably like 10 to 12 of those each and every day.
Hmm.
And those are very intense calls, right? I'm trying to sell my service. So like I've got to be on form, I got to be on my A game. And I got to a point where I was like, fuck, I'm not doing that again. Like I don't want to do that 6 days a week for the rest of my life. So scaling
Yeah.
it down, we started to do less of those calls and I could have a bit more balance in my life as well, which was nice.